If you want to have money and not be broke, here's 5 things that I would recommend you do right now. For starters, this is assuming you have a job, but if you don't have a job, get a job. That's not even going to count as the first point, but honestly, you can't do these next 5 things if you don't have a source of income. So if you have a job, the first thing I'd recommend you do is reduce your expenses. Honestly, that's something that a lot of people struggle with, that I've even struggled with, but that I realized how beneficial it was when I started implementing it. So the biggest thing that I realized for me saved me the most money was selling my car. Honestly, with car payments, insurance, gas, maintenance, everything included, I was spending almost $1,000 a month on just my car. And it wasn't a super expensive car. It was a 2019 Golf R that I got last year for around $30,000. But when I sold it, that was the thing that saved me the most amount of money and that I would recommend you do. Also, with the theme of reducing your expenses, stop spending on Uber Eats or takeout and just buy groceries and cook your own meals. That's something that I still struggle with, but I realized how much money I was spending on going out to eat and getting Uber Eats instead of just going to the grocery store, which is not that far from where I am, and getting groceries and cooking my own meal. For example, if you want to eat supper and you want to order a meal for you and one other person and nothing fancy, that meal on Uber Eats is probably going to cost you over $50. But if you go to the grocery store and just buy the ingredients to make a meal, I can guarantee that it'll cost you less than that and you'll have leftovers, and overall that food might be even healthier. But let's say you can't sell your car because you needed to go to work or you needed to go to the grocery store, then my next recommendation would be to move to a big city, move to a place where you can walk to go to the grocery store, move to a place where you can walk or take public transportation to go to work. For me, a year ago, I decided to move out of my hometown and move to a big city, and I don't regret that decision at all. I was able to get rid of my car and I was able to find a job that I could get to work without driving. My method of transportation now is BMW, bus, metro, walk. And honestly, if you want to find a job, a big city is the place to go. Since there's so many opportunities for jobs, you'll for sure find something. So you might think that moving to a big city might be more expensive and you can't afford it. So my third recommendation would be to split rent. Find roommates. Honestly, that's what I'm doing, and I end up spending less on rent right now than I was spending in my hometown. If you don't think you can afford to buy a place in the city or rent a place in a big city, there's always new places that become available either on Marketplace or just searching up online. You could find a place for your budget. But when you think about finding a place, make sure to find a place that's close to a grocery store or close to public transportation so you can take that to go to work. And honestly, with having roommates and splitting rent, you can also split other expenses like groceries and just a lot of the day-to-day stuff that you have to buy for your place. So those are the top 3 recommendations that I've personally put into action, and that has really changed the amount of money that I have since implementing them. But now, if you do all these 3 things, the next recommendation that I would have for you is to force yourself to save. This can be by putting money in your savings every pay or setting up something with your bank to have it automatically deposited into your savings account right when you get a pay. You should think of that money that you're putting into your savings as money that doesn't even exist and that's automatically taken off your pay. So you should trick yourself to think that you're actually getting paid less than what you really are. That's honestly the best way to think about it if you want to save money, so that you don't give yourself excuses to spend that money that you save on going out or buying something that doesn't seem too expensive at the time, but that it's really something that you don't really need. So force yourself to save a certain amount every week, every 2 weeks, or every month, and that money is gonna go a long way. Finally, my 5th recommendation that I would have is to invest. And that can be investing in stocks, investing your money, but it can also be investing in a new skill or investing in learning something new. For the money part, investing your money is something that I started doing more and more recently now that I don't have those extra car payments and all these extra payments that I used to have. And I'm really seeing some good results already. But if you don't really know a lot about investing, you should go talk to somebody at the bank and they could give you recommendations on how to invest, where to invest your money, depending on how much risk you're willing to take. Or you can invest in learning how to invest your money, or invest in learning a new skill, like learning how to make YouTube videos, learning how to make websites, just learning something that's gonna challenge you and your brain to try something new. Since learning might not always be something that sounds fun to do, focusing your time on learning something new is honestly something that is really fulfilling. You can also invest in your education, whether it's going to university or college and finding a job that you really want, or just taking some courses online to learn how to do these things that I mentioned earlier, like filming YouTube videos or building a website. Learning is something that I really find important. I've recently given myself the goal to read 3 books by the end of the year. And these books that I want to read aren't really some sci-fi or romance or anything that's supposed to be entertaining. It's really books that can help you have a different perspective on life, philosophy, business. These books have a lot of lessons that are very interesting and touch many different aspects of life, which I might bring up in future videos on this channel. So honestly, if you follow the 5 recommendations that I've said in this video, you're not gonna be broke and you should live a pretty fulfilling life, since these have been 5 things that I've been doing. And honestly, life is pretty good right now. Save your money.